from the MCPLive.tv studios, located in downtown Conroe. It's the Conroe Art League, live.
Hello, and welcome to Cal Live, the show that tells you what you need to know about the Conroe Art League. We are here to introduce you to each of our Cal artists and tell you a little bit more about them so you'll know their story behind the beautiful art that they make. And here as our guest is Miss Samechee Taylor, and we're so happy to have you here and to learn the story behind your wonderful art.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Thanks. Well, let's start out a little bit by talking about where you're from and a little about your family maybe, and what their influence was on you, and what brought you to this area.
Yeah, so I grew up in Montgomery County. More so, everywhere is my home.
Okay.
Yeah, there's really no part that I have not been, to not consider it a part of my home in Montgomery County.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, great. And your family, your mom and dad, are they from this area originally too, or?
Yes, they are. My mom is from Conroe here, and my dad is from Montgomery, the city right up 105.
I know where that is.
Yeah.
That's where I live. All right. Well, awesome. And so they were they an influence on your art at all, or when you grew up, were you interested in art when you were in school, or?
Yeah. My inspiration, I guess, on art is most definitely my family. They come first, and no matter what it is, so, putting them in my art was definitely due.
I can tell that. And you told me that you had entered some contests when you were in school, and you had a lot of rodeo art. Is that right?
Yeah, I did. Not sure, probably like 3rd, 4th grade, 5th grade, intermediate was probably my first few times entering into the Houston rodeo show.
Right.
I didn't go or participate. They just entered my artwork, and I got a few ribbons. Not first place, but I did get a few ribbons.
That must have been a real honor to be able to even be included and also to get ribbons.
Mm-hmm,
That's great. That's great. I used to work in the school district in Houston, and so I went down and always looked at the rodeo art. That was always so interesting to me. I might not have gotten to all the rodeos, but I like to go and look at the art. That was fun. So yes, and you said that have you done some entering in any other shows anywhere, or?
No.
Okay.
No.
But you have had your work in the Conroe Art League.
Yes, recently, since about April, May. Yes, I joined the Conroe Art League.
Okay, so you're a rather new member then.
Yes, I am, yes.
But I see you there all the time. I know you're very involved.
Yeah, I try to be. Art is a big inspiration in my life. Without art, things kind of get clouded. And so I try to incorporate that in my life on a daily, regular basis, especially my daughter's life, Image.
Oh, yes. Image is your daughter, and how old is she?
She's 11.
Oh, that's a beautiful age.
Yes, it is.
Getting close to being a teenager. A handful sometimes, but wonderful. That's so good.
Yes.
And she has been a big inspiration for you in doing some of your work too, hasn't she?
Yes, most definitely. Image is my ladybug.
Oh.
And so with her, I make sure that whatever type of artwork I, bring her into it, because she needs to see, what artwork brings into your life on a regular basis.
That's great. And does she also do art?
Yeah, she does. Recently I found, a few pictures that she drew, and it kind of surprised me because she doesn't, try to dabble into it too much, but I said, oh, okay, she has an eye for it. So, I try to, make sure that it's in front of her 9 times out of 10 now.
That's good, because if she has the supplies and, and they're around, then, it'll maybe pique her interest. And I'm sure she's fascinated with what you do. Yeah. Has she seen your work at the gallery? Has she been down there yet?
No, she has not.
Okay, well, you have to bring her down there one time.
Yeah, I will.
We'd all like to meet her.
Yes, most definitely.
Yes, absolutely. So what kind of things inspire you. You said your family, and I think what you told me earlier was that you love to repurpose items.
Yes.
That is your special thing.
Yeah, I guess it is now that you said something. Repurposing, redesigning is a big factor. My family, especially the Taylor side, and it's not, known on my mother's side either, that we repurpose a lot of things, especially like furniture, somebody throws out and that we might need, or anything that we might need and somebody has thrown out. We try to find a useful way to use it in our everyday lives, trying not to, be wasteful, let alone, ungrateful.
Exactly.
For the things that we are given and not given, sometimes God puts it right in front of you. And there it goes, whether it's in the trash or it's a treasure.
That's exactly right.
Yes, ma'am.
And you told me that somebody in your life reminded you of that a lot, about someone's trash is someone else's treasure. Who was that?
My grandmother, Mrs. Lola Mae Taylor. I call her Grand Lola.
Oh, Grand Lola, that's great. Well, she was very inspirational for one of your pieces we're going to see in a little while, too. So you can tell us a little bit more about that when we get there.
That'll be fine.
So you said also that you love being out in nature.
Mm-hmm.
And you took a trip recently, didn't you say? And
yeah, I did. Yeah. So recently, I took a trip to Tennessee, to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, to go to Dollywood with my friend Amanda Stewart, and her daughter Judy, I call her.
Did your daughter go too?
No, she didn't, unfortunately.
Okay.
No. And I wish she could have, most definitely. But unfortunately, she didn't. But so I took a trip with my friend Amanda and her daughter, and it was my first time really ever out of state. And to travel 6, 7 states in 5, 6 days was a major leap for me. Very eye-opening, very, grateful experience. And I mean, just the whole thing, just to see the mountains and everything was awesome.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
You'd seen pictures before, but you'd never seen them in real life.
No.
Oh, that's exciting. I'm glad you got to do that.
Yeah,
Were you able to take some photographs?
Yes, I was. I got some amazing photographs.
That's great.
Yeah, rivers, the rolling forest. That was an awesome, picturesque place. Just the outlook from the mountains was very great.
Oh,
yeah.
very pretty, very pretty. That whole area there by Dollywood is really gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. There's a lot to see. And that was fairly recently too, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was about less than 2 months ago.
Okay, so you had some nice weather?
Yeah. It rained as we were going up there, but staying there and on the way back, it was totally fine.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
And did you see the leaves change colors?
Yeah.
You don't
I saw
see
a
that?
bear is what I saw.
A bear?
Yeah, I saw a bear just walking across the street. Everybody was like, whoop-dee. I was like, oh, okay. No. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to feed them.
No,
but,
I stayed in the car.
That was very smart, I think. I can remember some visits to some national parks when my mother thought it was really cute to throw some food out, and this little bear came and got a hold of the window, and my mother's rolling up the window. That was before we had electric windows. She's rolling up the window, and she's rolling up the little bear with the window. So, but that's awesome. You hadn't seen a bear before.
No, not in the wild like that, no.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's incredible. And I'm glad you got some pictures. I'll bet you're going to have a lot to inspire you for more art.
Yes, most definitely. Absolutely.
Yes. So, we're going to talk a little bit about your artwork and that you have here. So why don't we take a look at her first piece of art? And I want to know the story behind this, because this has to be a good story. Tell me.
Okay, so this is Mrs. Lola Mae Taylor, Grand Lola. There's so much going on with it. I really can't start at one place, so let's just start somewhere.
Sure.
During the pandemic, a lot of things happened, and just going to my grandmother for wisdom and advice, and just everyday situations, I guess, and just asking her how did she get through her trials and troubles and stuff like that, and what was her walking journey, and she got to describing her life as a sharecropper here in Montgomery County, and how she went to everywhere, and the main thing that I took from it is how she had the Lord on her side all the time, and wherever she went, He directed her there, and how nobody can really understand her perception and the way that she thinks in life, but I'm glad that I get to be privileged and honored to know something about how she thinks.
I think that's absolutely wonderful. I think a lot of children these days, we're all kind of separated, and we're not as close as families used to be because everybody's living in every different place. And I'll never forget all the times that I had with my grandmother. That was the most beautiful time in my childhood. Yes. And I'm so happy for you that you have the privilege of having her in your life so much too.
Most definitely. It's
got to mean an awful lot to you.
Yes.
So tell me about you have some pieces in this same piece. You have some items in there that I want to know about.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start with the sachet, the needle and thread sachet. Okay. Her sachet, I've just started recently, sewing myself, okay. But her sachet was an embodiment in my life. You can say that's an item there, but the material and wisdom she gave me didn't have to come from that sachet. It came from her speaking to me with genuine words, and that sewed up, any negative thought that I had, or any, self-doubt or discouragement that I had. Her rolling pin, you're not a good cook unless you can roll something out, and she did just that for me in every aspect, especially in these recent months and stuff. Her spoon, oh wow, her spoon. She knows when to give you something and know when to take it back.
Oh, okay.
Yes, most definitely. Not in a bad way.
Right.
So too much of something good could be, bad for you if you get it too soon. Or her the paintbrush, that was a big part of me putting that in there because, with me coming into art and stuff again, she painted my world a whole different color,
I
and
love
all
the
that.
Symbolism and all of this. It's beautiful.
Yes.
And that's why I think a lot of people need to really know the stories behind people's works of art because there's such a rich portion of you that's gone into all of that. And that's really, really lovely. Okay, well, let's take a look at another piece. Oh, tell me about that. That's very interesting, too.
Yeah.
What's the name of this?
That is called Lightbug Summer's Shell.
Okay.
Yes, and I was inspired by my daughter, Image, and my only niece, Summer. And the repurposing thing about the box, it was a discarded something, and I said, well, children always fight, bicker, whatever. Let me repurpose and redesign it with them in mind, and I paper mache most of it, and my daughter Image, she's my ladybug, as I said, and it's a few little ladybugs on the bottom on the bottle, and the is that an indicator? It's the indicator, a rail car train indicator. The little thing on top. I'm sorry, my tongue is getting tired.
That's fine, you're fine. Yeah. I was just trying to see if I could see it. I thought,
it's on top, in between the shells and on top of the bottle.
On top of the bottle.
Yes, it's a train car indicator.
Okay.
It lights up back in the day in the early.
I know what you're talking about. Exactly. For the tracks on the tracks.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly. I don't know if I said that right, but yes, that's what that is.
That's fine. That's very interesting. And so these are things that you wanted to share that reminded you of your daughter and your niece.
Yes.
And that's awesome. That is really awesome. And I like the light bug.
Yes, light bug.
Light bug. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and you have another piece we want to look at. Oh, wow. I love that horse. Ooh, look at that beautiful mane.
Yeah. That is called Dusty Sunrise, sets in Montgomery County, Texas.
Okay, and tell me about that.
Yeah, so Dusty is my father's, John Chick Taylor, a longtime companion. It's the second companion that he's ever been in love with.
Oh.
Dusty is a mare, and she's a buckskin mare, quarter horse. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So your father has horses.
Yes, he's a avid horseman. I don't know if most people here or who watch the show ever visited Montgomery City, but the little trail where you see people ride their horses on,
Sure.
I'm sure my father had a hand in doing that.
Oh,
Yes.
that is so cool.
Mhm.
Yes, I've seen that. It's very, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great. So your father's into horses, and your mother is a nurse. Wasn't she nurse? And
Right now,
her whole
she's a
family?
bus driver for Willis ISD.
Okay.
She's been there for the last couple of years, 5-6 years before
Bless
that.
her heart.
Yes.
That's a
Before that, she was
challenging
at
job.
CISD bus barn, and she was a bus driver there for some time. And I believe she got that from my grandmother, Nelda Baker, who was a
Okay.
veteran in bus driving. I still meet children today and say, "Oh, your mom and grandma is so great and so wonderful, and I miss them so much." So it's
my
always an
gosh.
honor to see people like that.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
And they have to be wonderful caregivers if they give up their time to drive buses with children. I would think that could be about the most challenging thing that anyone could possibly do.
Most definitely.
Yes. I worked in the schools, and I know how rowdy children can get.
Mhm.
And they get very wound up when they're on the bus, so they need somebody who can kind of keep them in line.
Mhm.
I bet
Yeah.
she can.
Well,
too.
she's soft at hand.
Well, she sounds wonderful. And if she's your mom, she's bound to be great. So,
Most
anyway.
definitely.
So, is there anything else that you want to tell us about your art, or where they could see your art? If if somebody wants to see what you're doing, how can they do that?
Yeah. None of the main pieces that I showed you today are for sale. They're tributes, and I gave them to the family members that they were for. So if
okay.
you want, to see it or whatever, you're going to have to contact them.
Okay.
But go ahead.
No, that's
Okay.
fine.
But as far as any type of artwork, I do have a jewelry line called Silver's Gold Collection. It's based off what I think of my matriarchs. And did I say it was a matriarch collection? Silver's Gold Collection. And it's a matriarch edition.
Okay.
Yes, which means I had my matriarchs in mind when I made these jewelry pieces.
Well, tell me what it is about the jewelry pieces that is so unique, because you've told me before and I'm fascinated.
Yes. So not this one in particular. The other one I gave to my matriarchs, and I don't have them on the shelves,
Sure.
but they are classed differently for elderly people or seniors, not to get so tangled up in the clasp, but you just kind of hook it and let it go, and it drops right here in front of you. And I handmade and rolled them all, and including earrings as well. So that's one of the matriarch editions, but it's not on the shelves, but it will be.
Good. Well, now isn't that one of them that you have right there?
Yes.
On?
Yes.
And so people can maybe see how it connects, if they can.
Yes.
Yeah. See, and it just hooks in just like that.
Ooh.
And so it's so much easier
This
to
is
do.
mine in particular.
There we go.
Yeah.
And you can make it any length that you want.
Yes.
And isn't that
Can you
beautiful?
see
And
it?
what a great idea, because I have trouble fastening necklaces and bracelets and all that, and
Yeah.
that's absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
And a lot of your work that you do is custom made. Is that what you say?
Yes, all of them really are custom made. This one, nobody else can have this. This is specifically tailored for me and my loved ones. This is mine.
Right.
Nobody else will have this, and that's if somebody will order one or custom make one, and I will make it for them. That's what it would be. Nobody else will have.
So people
something like
can
this.
bring treasured items of their own and give them to you, and you put them together, and then you may add things of your own to that.
Yes.
But it's specifically for them.
Yes, specifically.
What a
No one
gift.
else. Authentic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and they can find you through the Conroe Art League.
Yes. Yes, Conroe
And-
Art League, and at my email, artbysamechee@yahoo.com.
Okay, spell it for us, please.
Art by SAMECHEE at yahoo.com.
At yahoo.com.
Yeah.
All right, so they can email you there, or they can come see you sometime when you're docening,
Yes.
because you do a lot of docening at the
Yes.
gallery as well.
Yes,
And
I
I might add, too, that we have a figure drawing group there, and we have asked Samechee to be our model in December. So we're excited about that. So if anybody out there is interested in drawing, we have that on the first and third Wednesdays of each month, and it goes from 10 until 1. So we're excited about that, too. Well, thank you so much, Samechee, for all the information you've given us and for sharing your beautiful line of work with us. And I really thank you for being here with us today.
No problem. I love it.
Great. So in order to see Samechee's work along with the other artists of the Cal Gallery, please visit us at the Best Little Art Gallery in historic downtown Conroe. So come on over, y'all, and see us. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. Join us at the gallery where we live by our creed: create, appreciate, and learn. Have a great one.